What is up YouTube, my name is Deshandi and welcome to the Day 4 of the Steam Autumn Sale 2013. We're going to be looking at, this is the last video of the day. We're going to be looking at the daily deals as well as the flash sales that are currently ongoing. The daily deals have been going on for the last 4 hours and they will last 2 days up until December the 2nd for the next 44 hours. The flash sales are also ongoing for the next 4 hours. We have a couple of good deals, especially on the flash sales as well as on the daily deals. So let's get started right away with the big title, Batman Arkham City Game of the Year Edition. 75% off for €5.24, does include all the DLC since it's the Game of the Year Edition. And there's Batman Arkham Asylum Game of the Year Edition as well for 75% off for €5. Yes, those are great titles. The Batman series has always been a great franchise. The games have been great, really good, and they're especially better now. There's no longer games for Windows Live, so there's no longer the DRM, which was causing some trouble, especially for Arkham City, as there were some issues with the saves. Those have now been fixed, and this makes these great deals. These are great games to pick up. Batman Arkham Origins is not on the sale, it's actually only 25% off, so you might want to wait on that and instead pick up Arkham Asylum and Arkham City so you can actually focus on the story of those titles. It does come with all the DLCs, so you get extra characters, extra maps, extra skins and such, which is always nice. So yeah, Batman, really great games, and at this price I definitely recommend those. You probably won't spend less than $10 for both games, which is really good. Next up, another one of my favorites, Borderlands 2, which is 75% off for €7.49. This is a co-op first-person shooter with looting system and a really, like I said, a really big focus on the co-op, as well as a lot of humor. This game has a very weird sense of humor, and very bizarre sense of humor. Do note that this deal is not very good. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Borderlands 2, but I don't think this deal is such very good. The Game of the Year, I will definitely hold on picking that up. It's only 50% off for €25, which is basically almost the base price that Borderlands 2 is currently at. So yeah, and this DLCs, which are a lot of them, we have 43 DLCs for this. It's 33% off, which all DLCs will cost you around €93. Is it worth to pick up just the base game? Yeah, it's definitely worth it up. There's a couple of DLCs that are good, that add some extra classes like the Necromancer pack and the Psycho pack, as well as some of the extra campaigns, but honestly those others that are like 66 cents each, not really worth it. But I would definitely wait on the Game of the Year edition though to pick this one up. Borderlands 2, it's one of the cases of that, is a case of a game that gets a lot of there's a bunch of DLCs. Most of them probably would have fit in the release, which is one of the big issues with gaming industry these days. Borderlands 1 is actually on sale, not the base game, but actually the Game of the Year edition is actually for the same price as Borderlands 2, so you might want to pick the first one instead if you still have some friends with you to play. Honestly, this is one type of game where it's better off play with friends, and that's that. So yeah, it's kind of a miss. If you have a couple friends to play Borderlands 2 with, you should definitely pick it up. If you don't, then I guess you give a pass on it for now, because it could come cheaper later on, especially in the winter sale though. Next, we have a game that actually disappointed me a bit. Amnesia: A Machine for Peace, which is 50% off for €8. Honestly, I would much rather buy Amnesia: The Dark Descent, and there's a good reason for that. I think Dark Descent is actually a much tougher game. It's a more challenging game, and it's actually more scary. I don't think many people didn't like Machine for Pigs, which it's reflected on the Metascore when you compare it to this Dark Descent, which had a Metascore of 88 when this one had a 72. So I would rather get Dark Descent. It's even better because it's actually 80% off, I believe. I think it's €4 or something like that. I could really check really quick. Let me see. Yeah, €3.19 actually. And yeah, it's 80% off, which is much better. I'd rather get Dark Descent than get Machine for Pigs, definitely for that price. So yeah, Dark Descent is actually a very good deal. Not so good Machine for Pigs. Next, we have Forced, which is 50% off for €7. This is a 1 to 4 player co-op arcade action RPG with some elements of puzzle and tactical game. I actually never played this game. I actually never heard of this game before. I actually did pass on it really quick. I did read reviews, and I did watch the review from the Shot Gaming, and some people like this game. It's definitely one of those games that, like Borderlands, you're better off playing with some friends. And it does look really nice. It reminds me a lot of Dota 2 for some reason. I think it's because it's a mobile style game, but yeah. This price, no. I would not put it at this price. I'll probably wait off for a later sale when it goes 75% off to purchase this. It's actually a very recent release, so there's that. So yeah, I would probably pass on it for right now, and definitely not worth picking up unless you really have all the other games and you really want to pick this one up. So next we have Shadowrun Returns, which is 55% off for €6.29. That's a really odd discount for this game. Shadowrun Returns it looks like a really modern version, futuristic version of Baldur's Gate. It does include elves, trolls, orcs, and dwarves, which is really weird. And it's set in a futuristic world, which the story looks interesting. I would definitely only buy the base game. The deluxe version doesn't come with any extra stuff. It's only the soundtrack from the classic games. This was actually an old school Sega and SNS title, as well as the anthology, which includes some extra stories and such, and also some concept art. There's a compatibility with Steam Workshop, which is really nice, and it's actually a very good RPG. And it's a lot of like XCOM. It reminds me of both XCOM and Baldur's Gate, which is actually good because those are really good titles. And it's definitely one I have to check out for the future, but at this price I would probably still wait on it for a later sale to get this one. Next we have Splinter Cell Blacklist. Yeah, we're getting to the worst deals. 50% off for €25, and I say it's one of the worst deals because of the price. For the price you get, the price this game has, you can pretty much get some of the best deals from Black Friday and even spare some money. It's not to say this game is bad, it's just the price is not yet good. And it does require a Uplay account, so there's the DRM and the Xbox controller, which makes it even worse. I'm not gonna get even close to this game. But if you're a fan of Splinter Cell, if you like the stealth style that Splinter Cell does, Blacklist does have that, but it also has some extra. You can also go, enter the mission, start shooting everybody. You can actually complete the mission that way, which is kind of interesting, which we don't see that much in Splinter Cell games. Splinter Cell usually more about stealth, which is probably one of the reasons why Blacklist isn't as liked as, for example, some games like Pandora Tomorrow, Chaos Theory. But yeah, I don't know if Chaos Theory or Pandora Tomorrow are actually on a sale. I could really check that really quick, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's definitely one that should pass on it for now. Next we have Chivalry Medieval Warfare, which is 75% off for €4.49. This is a really good game. I actually own this game. It's a very fast-paced medieval hack and slasher, first-person slasher, with very focus on multiplayer, set in the medieval times. It's the best one of the genre. Definitely. Some people think the War of the Roses is better. Some people like Warband more. I actually one of the ones who think Warband is better, but Chivalry is a good title. The expansion is also included on the complete pack, which is also 50% off for €16. But honestly, I will not buy the complete pack because Deadliest Warrior is somewhat different from Chivalry. I would much rather get Chivalry at this time, and then later on get Deadliest Warrior when it gets cheaper. So there's that. And it's a great title. It's the Indie Game of the Year from 2012, and it's definitely one worth checking out. At this price, it's a must-buy, definitely. Next, we have The Witcher 2 Assassins of King Enhanced Edition, which is probably the best deal of the day for me. 75% off for €5. This is a great RPG. It's one of the best RPGs of all time. A great story. Great graphics, great gameplay. Honestly, there's not one bad thing to say about this game. And it's one of the best titles you can get on PC. If you want to pick up game, you want to buy a game on PC, you want to get Witcher 2. I do believe though that it's on sale also on GOG.com, so you much rather probably get it from GOG, because actually all the money goes then for the developers of the game, which constantly patch this game. This game has been out for almost 2 years, and it's still patched to this day, which is awesome. Witcher 1 is also available at 75% off for €22. If you haven't picked it up, it's also a good title to pick. It's not as good as the second, but it's still a great game and definitely worth checking out. The two titles overall will cost you something like €7, around €6.98, which is very cheap. And finally, I have to talk about this. Oh my god, Rome Total War 2, 50% off for €27.49. Honestly, this game was a big disappointment for me. I heard there's really big issues with the bugs and glitches of this game. Honestly, I will not buy Rome Total War at this time because there's so much issues. Though some of them are being fixed, but I'd probably rather wait a year to pick this one up. It's a great title, don't get me wrong. I like Rome Total War, the original, and I was very excited to see a sequel to it, but it honestly felt very hard. And yeah, if you want a good Total War game, I would suggest getting Shogun instead. Even though it's actually 50% off and not included on the sale, I'd rather get Shogun for that price. It's definitely worth checking out. I think for this price you can actually get Shogun and get Medieval 2, which are two of the best Total War games ever, as well as Rome 1, which is still the best one in my opinion. So there's that. The daily deals are those. We still have the flash sales also going for the next 4 hours. Max Payne 3 is definitely worth picking up at this price, 80% off for €4. Great game. Action game. The first one and second one are considered better and also on sale for almost the same price, around €3.24 for the entire bundle, which is definitely one worth picking up. Dead Space 2, Dead Space 1, good horror-based action games set space. 75% off for €7.49 for Dead Space 2. You can buy the complete pack for €10, and the original is of course €2.49. It's actually cheaper to buy the individual games separately for 1 cent, which is kind of ironic. And then there's of course Call of Juarez Gunslinger, which is 66% off for €5.09. This is a game set during the period of the American Civil War, and it's a really great game set in the Far West. But honestly, the pack with Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is not on discount, so you probably want to wait to pick those two up and get the two together if you want them together, which is slightly a better deal. And finally there's Serious Sam 3, which is 90% off for €2.79. It's a great indie title, great first-person action shooter. It's very cheap. Yeah, the gold edition is €3.49 and the complete pack is €6.49 for all the Serious Sam games. So yeah, there's that. Alright, well folks, those are the flash sales and daily deals for now. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to record another video for the flash sales that will start in 4 hours. Or even the ones early tomorrow, because I'm actually going to be celebrating the December the 1st, which is actually a national holiday in Portugal. But I will be sure to be here for the daily deals of that day, so be on the lookout for that. Until then, this is the Shandy signing out, and I will be making a big announcement on December the 3rd, because on that day I should be revealing what game I'm going to be let's playing, so be on the lookout for that. Until then, see you guys later and have a good sale.